2, 3. All them zones will shut off now. And it's kicking off, look. He's ended the phone on his mum. I think that's disgusting behaviour.
You've seen it on me.
But you are. So it's just been ridiculous. It's like nearly been a 2-hour round trip to get the pump, but obviously it's crucial today that the hot water. Show what you're doing now. You've just been sat there. We need to get inside. Show me that bit of copper.
Yeah, I'm waiting to
No. What are you embarrassed for? You made something like you can't even bend a bit of copper.
I'm just waiting to go to work.
Right, come on and let's go. Brandon's on point. Van's ready to go.
Just sat on my groups, just smuggling it.
Pulling a bit of copper apart. Thinking of old of his pecker. Come there, mate. I swear to God. Right, morning, Georgie.
Morning.
So it's late today.
Stinks, innit?
Wednesday the 25th, 2011. So we'll shut this unvented cylinder. They've had the Legionnaires risk assessment of they've asked us to remove the TMV on this cylinder. So it's an unvented cylinder. They've actually installed TMVs now. So it's obviously a care home. They've removed or replaced all the TMVs throughout the full building now. So Legionnaires have stated that they want this thermostat mixing valve in. Let's the gaffer and then George I can run through what's what. So what we've got here setup wise is a oil boiler, pretty straightforward. Obviously we've got our heating pump, which to be fair is quite a small pump. It's only 1560, it's not that big, but it's not doing much. They've put 2 filters on. I don't know why. What's confusing, it must be 2 zones or something, but anyway. And it looks like they've done it in Henko, is it? Or I know they've just sleeved it. But what I'm going to do, obviously, I'll shut the cold main up there, got my balancing valve there, then I've got that connects to my expansion. This needs a recharge there. So while I'm here, I'll get that recharged. I'll have to drain a bit of water out of this cylinder. To be honest, I can't see a DOC anywhere. I'll shut the boil off for now as well, I don't want to be on. Let's get that turned off, can't we? It all needs to go back to auto, Georgie, that. Just so I've got no demand for nothing when we're done today. Should drop off in a sec once them 2 ports drop off. There we go. Belimo's shutting off now, so the hot water's gone off as well. So that's just shutting itself down. But I've got to cut this out, so what I'm going to do, obviously Legionnaire's dead legs and stuff like that, I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to elbow it straight into there. What I need to work out here as well, it looks like I've got my second return, but I'll be honest with you, I don't even think that second return is working or it is even on, because it gets wired into, I don't even know. Where does it go, that then? That goes into that fuel spare there, but it's on a time, but I don't think it's doing that. So I'll have a look at that as well, but I need to work out how to get the second return here as well. So that's going to want tapping back into the cold, because that will, and I thought, you've got the torch, haven't you? That'll flow down like that, it'll come across, then it'll go into, so most would tee that in there to be fair, so it can flow back around the cylinder when it's in demand, so nishty. So I've just been on with technical, I'm just waiting for him to ring me back now. Getting set up a bit of an odd one, this. Not else for it, like I say, but what I want to do is I need to speak to him, because I don't think that's an issue, disconnecting that. It's an unvented cylinder, it's an ACV unit, 320, cheers George, 320 litre unit. I can't see it being, let me get this up first. Best we can. No, I don't. Is that even turned on, that? I don't know, look at that. Something's going on there as well. Don't look that fair at all. You can't, we shouldn't even look at that. That's going to replace another coming that gets done. That's my main hot draw for that full section there. You see something's on that, but yeah, I need to just make sure that I can take this out. I'm pretty certain I can, and I can't see it being an issue. It's all quite corroded there. Here, George, cheers, pal. I can't see it being an issue, but it's just making sure that we're doing it as per manufacturer instructions. If technical give us this say so, we can do it, we're happy. And look, I've got bits on board of the van, so let me just get this pulled out now, because it isn't needed that. It's I just leave it in, to be fair. They've got it set at min, but I just set it at max. And it goes right up. I'm taking it out to me. Oh, they've said the Legionnaires though, so I've got it all the lagging strip back. I'm going to have to replace that up there as well. It's leaking from there. It looks like it's been weeping for a while. This has all started to corrode. It's not necessarily damp there, but I've seen steam coming off here. And I see my hands wet. So I'll place that and we'll recharge the expansion as well. I could do with draining this cylinder off, to be fair though. It's a little bit naughty this, but let's see if we can get some water out of it. I can reseat that.
What's that valve on the crusty pipe?
What's that, bud?
What's the valve on the crusty pipe?
That?
What is it, corroded?
No, it's just it's been leaking for a while, mate. So I think we'll just look at pulling it out. It shouldn't be too bad.
Oh, is it just pipe? Literally pipe?
Yeah, it's only crusted corroded pipe, so I'll just cut the 28mm up there and we'll just come straight across and drop it straight into the cylinder. And we just need to tee the return into the end of this, so it's not too much, it's a little reconfiguration. And the biggest thing, like I say, is just speaking to technical and making sure that we can do this. If you use a battery out of the drill, mate, you can do it like that. I'll let him know, mate. I'm still going to have to repair this. There's a section of pipe with a leak on it, so I'll still have to sort that out, mate. It's a bit of a nightmare, but I'll do that. I might as well do that. So I've just been on the phone with technical, obviously, and in situation that is technical literature overrides everything. So this is an unvented cylinder. It's a bit of a tricky one, really. It's not that I'm trying to get out of the job and not do the job, but I've just spoken with ACV technical down on the phone, and they just obviously stated to me, it does state in the manufacturing instruction that that needs to be installed. It's a TMV free valve, which we do work on, we do service. I think the Legionella guys come out with a risk assessment and a report, and he's picked up a few things with that. I don't know what, I need to look at the report, to be fair, but that needs to be in because this can store water up to 80 degrees, and like his rightly just so said, pipe work on the system and everything else, can that handle obviously the temperature going through? I can't see that being a problem. The biggest thing is obviously manufacturing instructions states that this has to be in. So if I take it out, I'm then going away from manufacturing instructions, create myself problems. If anything happens in the future and we get scolded, then we are heavily liable. So that's the part of the buy. That's a rule to obviously go by. Manufacturing instructions states with everything, but pretty easy setup. Like I say, you've just got the oil boiler expansion. I need to recharge that, which I'll recharge that. 2 filters, a zone valve, Belimo. It's a bit of a kill if you ask me. I'll be brutally honest with you. George, you got the torch, cheers, lad. Bit of a kill if you ask me. I'll be brutally honest with you. But I'm going to let the site facilities manager know and just say, look, it does need to stay in. I'll say about that pipe, it could do with some attention, but it may not do it today, book it in front of the day. So we'll go from there and see what they say. So we're just waiting for that Belimo to open. That'll create my switch, which will in tandem get my boiler to fire up. So again, I'm being here now. I don't think no one's been in this plant room for quite a while now. So I've spoken to technical. They've said basically it needs to be in, but it can be taken out. But these guys want it out for Legionnaire's perspective because they've got all the appliances on site. So we're going to pop back, check all the appliances where they've put TMVs and just make sure. What I'll do for now is I'll turn it up to max roughly. But it's going to need a few bits in the changing here. Like I say, the expansion vessel's knackered there. There we go, she's fine. Expansion vessel wants a recharge, and most we're going to look at them as well because that one of them's passing, but that's obviously due to that. So it's going to be the pressure relief valve one, should I say. So that's on to 3/4. It's a 3/4 mil. George, get off. And then I've got that one temperature relief valve there, which is 3/4 to 22mm outlet, and you can see on the top there what it is. Why are you stood behind me touching me? What are you doing? What are you doing? You look well. You look good today, mate. So next job, me and you are going to one of Luke's jobs that you and Luke couldn't sort. So
I wasn't there.
I've been dragged. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. I've been dragged in to sort it, so I expect some serious work from you today. All right. 11:25. It's what we do. Come into these plant rooms. We don't repair it. We just
tell them what they need.
Tell them what needs doing. Like I say, we'll renew that section of pipe as well there. Dinner, aren't we? Right. So to job number 2. It's 11:30. We've come across Hornsea. Just finished a little bit of dinner in the van. I've got my flask of tea. Have a dinner. Give George one of my bit of pudding. Kinder Bueno about. What do you think, lad?
It's nice.
Good, wasn't it? Big rubbish this morning. We haven't really done much, have we?
I know.
So now we're going back to Hayes and Luke's call back. I couldn't get some lads working.
I wasn't there.
You was there. I just had the chat with you then. You said you was there and you was like, oh. But don't worry, because Nathan will sort it. Won't he?
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. I'll sort it. So we're down here. Me and the boy, Georgie. We seem to have found the problem. So George wasted I can't say wasted of yours last time. We had a bit of time trying to look for it to find the ascertain issue, didn't you, mate? The bleeded rad's done X, Y, and Z. I've come straight to the source, the heart. The issue that I found with this, I'm going to spin you around now, is this pump is a 2580. So I suppose you could say it's a light commercial pump if you wanted to. But what's happened is you'll see, look at the play I've got in this. That's no good. So when I took my bleed head off there, that was touching, it was grounding. I could hear it straight away because the way it sits inside the body is that should be fully out there. I believe when that pump turned on, I ran it and the water's flowing, so it forced it like that. So there's no water getting away from it. So I'm going to pop off now back to Hull, try and get a new pump. Pretty simple. Knowledgeable, aren't we? Even Dean said, Dennis said, you know your stuff, but we learn it, don't we? Yeah. See you soon, lad.
Alright, I'll just sort it.
You won't. Do you want me to sort it for you, George?
Is the airing covered? Can you... Is the airing covered?
Problem we've got here is
empty or not?
George has had to go repair his boiler at home, put the pressure in to blend the baby and it's kicking off, look. He's ended the phone on his mum. I think that's disgusting behaviour.
You're saying it on me.
But you are not capable.
She brings me, said there's no water, and then ends the phone, talks to someone else. The other person can wait if the water's a priority.
This is what I mean, he's full on filled mat issues, isn't he?
I'm having a cold shower because of air.
But look, my shower be nice and warm, because if my shower ain't working at home, my shower's working in the office. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, George, we'll come get a shower with me now in the back.
No.
Let's go, come on. So, a couple of jobs I've got coming up now. I've got my pump now back at the office. I've had to come all the way, 40-minute drive to pick this up. So, we've just gone for a replacement, not the Gunfoss, because they're ridiculously overpriced. So, I've got the, I don't know what that is, as long as it's a 1580. 2580 pump, 180mm spacer, so I can get that fitted, done. Louis just ordered this new pump, so I've had to order a full new pump set as well. These are not the cheapest pumps, so it's the Magna ones. Oh, they ain't got a fucking place for DP switch on them. I said that to Paul. Don't lift them up, so I need Luke to look at them. Look, Chris, the Sparky. No, the Sparky, look at them. Because they need to speak back to the BMS, so I'm going to have to ring the electrician who work with on site, and he's going to have to have a word about it, because again, if they don't speak to the BMS, it might be an issue. I thought there'd be tap-ins for differential pressure, but not the end of the world. And then we've got an oil boiler gone down, so we're going to put a full new bearing in it, because the bearing's packed in totally. So we'll get this gear put in the back now. I'm going to have a lemon because I feel a little bit shy, I'll be honest with you. And then take a drive back to Hornsey, which is another 40 minutes. It's 2 o'clock now. Back in Hornsey for free, get that pump in with half an hour tested, and get out of there, so it shouldn't be too bad. It is what it is, isn't it? So, back in the van, feeling rubbish. We've got the pump, put it on the floor near you, lad. We'll go towards now, so it's just been ridiculous. It's like nearly been a 2-hour round trip to get the pump, but obviously it's crucial today that the hot water goes on in the property for the client. There's about 20 clients in this care home.
More than that, aren't they?
More than, there's about maybe 40 rooms with no heating, hot water, so we delivered the goods. It's 2:15 now. I've got to drive back to Hornsey again, 45 minutes, get back there, get this fitted, commission done. Shouldn't be too bad, I reckon 20 minutes roughly when we get there, but we'll take it over. As soon as we get there, we'll show we'll get it done. I thought I might have needed a Geordie, but I didn't need it. Right, so back. So I've lifted the pump in the van now. What I'm going to do. I like these EPH, it tell you which is in demand, which is obviously putting the boiler into demand as well. What I'm going to do is disconnect them. So I've got 1, 2, 3. All them zones will shut off now. And then my boiler, to be fair, it's got the flow fault, which that was come before. There's no demand now, and it's just sat idle at 80 degrees because it's the same as a flow fault, so the water in that will be red hot. And what I'm going to do is disconnect this, get it electrically isolated. I don't like these plugs, I'll be honest with you. You've got to undo, I think, got to undo. Click them together. I'll get this new pump out here. Shouldn't be too bad. I've got the old pump head screws there as well. But again, with this one being this one with an issue with air and stuff in the system. So what I'm going to do, just replace the full pump body. So the one I've got here is the Brit Firm, and that should just go straight on to there, like that. Got a bit of a big expansion as well, but anyways, it's not a problem, not a problem. Get this whipped out now, and then we'll go from there. I've got set up, I've just started disconnecting the nuts. It's obviously nice to know that. What are you doing? Sit in this plant cupboard, there's not a lot I can do. She knows. She knows. I never ever, on these pumps as well, I never ever fit the fibres, pumps going down. Never fit fibre washers, always fit metal washers.
Metal?
Not metal washers, sorry, rubber washers, because you do the metal ones are horrendous. So what I'm going to do now is that pump, I'm going to take the head off, because it needs to be pumping down, and that head's upside down now. So first things first, I'll whip the head off, just put the body on for now, and then put it all back together. Haters are going to hate George. So I've wired the wire into the front of the pump, but it's fine. Get it filled back up now. So it's not why I've been too short, but it's in the boiler cupboard anyway, so. So I wind them all the way out. And then just give it a quarter turn back. Like that. Same with the bottom. What was you doing touching my hair then? Idiot. So I've just clicked all them back in now. So obviously the motors have all moved over. That's going to signal the wire. Leave that, mate. I need that still. Signal the boiler to come on. Pump's kicked in. There's a bit of air sliding that, but I'll bleed her out. In fair, mate, that should fly around now. I'm going to bin that, mate. I've got one of the ranks, it's no good that now. Just no good. That's the phone off, isn't it? Hang on, what do I want here? We'll go back. There's no fault now because it's fired up, boiler's on. So I need to test it. It's just drawing the heat away from the boiler now. And the heat's going down both zones. Not the hot water, so we need to get the heat out of the boiler now. Bypass wants to stay up on because that's been shut off as well, but with the new pumping now, should be a lot better. A bit of air in that still. Why is it flowing a flow switch door? Essentially, flow switch open, fault 141. It wants to be open because the heating's in demand. Okay. It's pulling heat away, so we'll give it a couple of minutes. These are all on demand because all my everything's energized up now. So I should be getting heat going on the building. Just have to bleed the air out of this, there's quite a bit of air in it. But obviously our temperature to be reached is 80 degrees. I'm going to knock that down because it doesn't need to be that hot. I reckon I can get it down to 60 with the unvented cylinder, which is just in here. Is that door open for the unvented cylinder?
No, I haven't done it. Do it up.
Just open it up so I can get to, I need to test it off. What this should do is stay main burner for a while now. Which it's doing. Bit of air going on that still. But stay main burner and it should pump a lot of heat away from the building. And then obviously here, unvented cylinder. See what's going on with this as well. Because I've isolated, I think, the flow out the returns that. But what I'm going to do, to be fair, I've got an air vent in the van actually as well. I'll sew it is, I've got an air vent in the van if need be, but it'd be worth it putting an air vent on there because that's my flow into the cylinder. That's set at 60. And to be fair, the boiler's fired and it's staying on maximum rate, which before it wasn't staying on max, was it? If you remember, we're getting heat down both upstairs and down. Returns, obviously cold, which is good. So we'll give it 5 now. Obviously the system we've got installed is an S-plan. So in the private hot water, it's just basically hot water zone valve, upstairs, downstairs. They've had a lead valve cooked in, I think the bypass faulty, but obviously we've sorted that, so that's done. Pumps on and working. The main thing for us is the boiler staying on now, so essentially inactive. And it's literally at maximum rate, which before it was pulsing. The boiler was basically cycling, which was telling me that the heating was not getting away from the boiler. Whereas now we've got a nice flow going out of there. I need to bleed that pump a little bit more. I'll bleed that air. Magna cleanser as well while I'm here. Same goes with it, George. Lodge's power. Sounds. So yeah, it's been a bit of a fiddly one. I've lost a lot of downtime going to site. picking bits up and doing stuff. Fortunate thing for me is I've got the main man with me. Got my landers. So yeah, fitted the pump. I guess I'll get the flow, but I've found this old valve on the system. Excuse me, and there is a serious. Go on, George, you can get that bit of urine. I think this is knackered. I hope it is anyway, because it's done my this job now. I've got a feeling that it snapped off the head in there. So it's definitely come through that. I'm thinking about, oh mate, that's fucking not too clever. All I can do is take that off. It was doing that, you see, up and down. Look at the paste there, mate.
Once that's back in and thingy, do you reckon we'll get a flow again?
Where's the paste? I don't know. They've done something in, they've had issues with the system. Something's gone on here because I'm hoping this has been the problem. Put a bloody pump in, it's working a lot better, but there's still a restriction somewhere. So it could be a piping issue, this. And the only way you're going to get around that, it's a repipe. So I've taken the gate out because it's an old one and that is not needed. I mean, don't know, that could have been alright. I don't know, it lifted out alright. Who knows, mate, who knows. We're just going to go for it now. Get it filled back up, shut that drain off and see what happens. If I can do. We're done. Absolutely testing with this. I'm bleeding the pump off now. I'm trying to stop the pump from going to lock out. It keeps going to a bloody lockout. I've took that gear valve all down there because I think that's been causing restriction as well. But I think from this, I'll be honest, it's going to be a case of we're going to have to look at repiping part of the system because it's just ridiculous. I put an air vent on the cylinder. George will show it. Show the air vent what you put on that. An air vent just there. As soon as I put that pump head on there, it just throttles down. So I've got pump head on again now. That'll go on to lock out again. But it's staying on now and there's heat going away from the boiler, which is good. I think a lot of it will go through return there. A lot of it's going full. To be fair, she's staying on. Oh, God. Reserving the pump again, so I'll have to go back with that again. R5. We're having a nightmare, aren't we? I don't do working late, but I have to get this heating back up and running in the cable. So I'm going to go check that check valve soon. I've got the system back to working as it was. It's flowing on a lot better with that new pump. Hot water's working now. That circuit's on. I'll be honest, it's pushing heat down that circuit as well. Returning. Cool. Returning slightly. That's stone cold still. I need to check the lads downstairs, but the boiler's on in max still. You can hear it as well, so she's still going, which isn't a bad thing. Jobs like this just testers though. I think to myself, it's like R5. I spend more time with George than I do with my wife and kids. That's why I'm contemplating going to a B&B with him tonight. Right, I'm signing out. 6 o'clock. George still with me now. I'm annoyed with this one, I'll be honest with you, because I've walked into, I don't know what I've walked into. I've walked into obviously trying to sort out what's going on. I've ascertained the pump was faulty from the start. I've had all the actuators off. I'll just cover it away while you do that, mate. I've had all the actuators off. I've had all the actuators off and done what I can do. I put a new air vent on the cylinder. I've traced the flow and return pipe wet back as well. Now that gate valve has done absolutely niche, even though it was jammed in it. There's a head socket below the floor as well. Looks like someone's had a go recently connecting something up. So I've kind of walked into a bit of a shit show. So it's frustrated me. I don't like to do it too, I like to repair and find out. So I don't believe there's a blockage. I think there's something wrong with the pipe being introduced. Something on. Don't get that torch inside the boiler, mate. Oh, yeah. There's something wrong with a pipe or something's been done on the system that I'm unaware of, but I'm going to write a report tonight today. I'm going to just put it obviously to the client that we just repiping this section, the rads that aren't working, just repipe it, coming straight off the boiler. We've got flow returns down there in the kitchen below and just literally repiping from there, which I don't think we're too much of a bad job, to be honest with you, but it's going to have to be done because I just can't get any further. I'm not one like this. I've had only a handful of jobs like this in the past that's beaten me, and this is one of them today. So yeah, it's been a crap day. I don't wait till when this happens, but there's not a lot I can do. I've got to cut ties sometimes, you know. Start getting the client bills for 4 days labour. Like, what have you done? You know, we're not much further on. We've got improvements on the system, but it's still thingy. But we'll get there. It is what it is. So over and out on that one, and we'll see you in tomorrow's.